we make sure that we are patient-centered and patient-focused. And that's the other thing that I realize in both private and public sectors, people, the doctors, the clinicians were not really patient-focused. They were not really looking at you as tabby. They're looking at you like, okay, she's coming with a back pain, so this is back pain patient, you know, not really this is tabby and what is she doing? How is she engaging in her everyday life? So at the center, we tend to understand the patients more. We tend to look at them as the individuals. So we're really tailor making our treatments according to where they're coming from.
Hello and welcome to the Millionaire Mind. My name is Turife, and joining us today we have Dr. Margaret Stower. Your second name is Stower?
Stower.
Okay, we'll get to know more about that. But before I get ahead of myself, please introduce yourself and what you do.
I'm Dr. Margaret Stower. I'm a chiropractor and the founder of Polycare Wellness Center.
Okay, so how did you find yourself, you know, being a chiropractor?
Interesting story. Actually, at that particular time, way back in 2003, I was working at the Nairobi hospital. Then I saw most of my patients were going in to see the chiropractor across the road. So I wanted to explore what chiropractic is, because they were going to see her with better results, because they're coming in with better results, and I wanted to explore what chiropractic is all about. Remember, this is 2003, you know, it was quite new in the country.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. And please tell us about the name before we get ahead of ourselves. Is it your married name? Is it your second name?
Yeah, that is my husband's name, Stower.
Okay, awesome. Yes. So tell us a bit about your educational background. You have mentioned in 2003 you're working at the Nairobi hospital.
Yes.
But then you had an interest.
Yes.
You could see people going to the chiropractor's office and you wanted to explore exactly what that was.
Yes.
So give us a bit of a background and what led you to, you know, now doing what you do.
Right, nice. I'm a physical therapist. That was my first profession. So I worked for quite a few years as physiotherapy. I worked both in the private sector as well as in the public sector. Then I got the job at Nairobi Hospital, and that's when I interacted with this chiropractor. Yes.
Awesome.
And,
educational background did you have? Because I'm thinking at the time, physical therapy, there's just that mindset, given we're talking about 2003, you know, I'm going to a physical therapist or am I going to get a massage? There's always that. Is it something I actually need or is it a luxury? So how do you balance all of that going on?
Physiotherapists are very well educated. They need to have a Bachelor of Science in Physiotherapy. Right now we have Kenyatta University that is offering that program. Previously you had to go out for your Bachelor of Science, but we have the Medical Training School which offers diploma courses in physiotherapy. So yes, they need to be very well educated. It's not just talking about massage, it's basically physical therapy, meaning you're treating people with physical means. It could be either electrical modalities that we have or specific exercises to rehabilitate the patient back to good health.
Yeah. Okay, you did mention you started in the public sector and then transitioned into the private sector.
Yes.
So how exactly was that transition, and did you think there are very contrasting places to be, or was it just the normal? It's a hospital, it's a hospital.
It's indeed is very, very different. Working in the public sector, there's a lot of challenges because most of the time you're working with very limited equipment, limited tools, and sometimes limited staffing as well. So you're overloaded with work in the public sector. So when I went to the private sector, it was also a breath of fresh air because the patients there, the expectations are very, very high. They want you to deliver, they want value for money, and of course you're working with a lot of equipment that are available. You may actually have a lot of workload as well. It's not like the workload is less, but at least the environment is conducive for work.
Yeah, you're able to do better.
You're able to deliver, you're able to do better.
Awesome. And please tell me about now, you've started into the private sector.
Yes.
Did you ever feel a bit conflicted? You're thinking, perhaps I could have done more in the public sector, perhaps, or what exactly does that evoke in you? Does it feel like, I'm doing better now, sayonara to the rest of you guys in the public sector? How did that play into, I'm a doctor, at the end of the day, I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
But how did you feel now? You're in the private sector, you've left the public sector behind. Was there any conflicting emotions?
There was. One of the things that I discovered about the public sector is, as much as there's limitation of tools and equipment to work, there's a lot of consultation between the doctors. There's a lot of teamwork between the medical team working together as a team. Whilst in the public sector, in the private sector, you're actually working alone with one or two doctors. So you may not have too much consultation centered on the patient. So there's no really a lot of center focus on the patient's treatment. It's more, let's do this and we go with it. While in the public sector, there's a lot of input from other health personnel and other doctors to say, okay, this is what we're doing, and this is the best way to handle this. And in fact, sometimes they can actually, they could actually consult with other hospitals rather than just the main institute. I worked in Nairobi, in Kenyatta National Hospital, and the teamwork was very, very good. I liked the teamwork there better. So that was my, as much as this is a comfort zone, I think that when you need to, you learn more in the public sector than in the private sector.
Okay.
Yeah, because the cases are so many.
True.
The patient load is quite a lot.
There's a huge variety
There's
of different ailments for you to choose from and
I know,
learn
right?
from.
Yes, there is to learn from.
Yeah.
And it's a good time for, and I always advocate young people to really try out the public sector rather than going straight into private practice.
Okay. And now, what exactly is it that you treat? You say, I am a physical therapist, I'm a chiropractor, but what solution do you offer?
I'm a chiropractor, and I wish we could just go back to the story, because the story was quite interesting. So as I was working as a physical therapist, I realized that most patients were getting better, faster with chiropractic interventions, because they'd come in from the chiropractor who was around Hurlingham that particular time and getting better results. So I decided to explore it. And so I took 30 days of leave just to go and explore and find out what chiropractic is all about. And she was very good. She actually invited me to her clinic, said, you can observe, but you just can't practice this. You have to go to school and learn. So I had to leave. I resigned from Nairobi Hospital, went to the States and had to pursue my degree in chiropractic. And I came back in 2008.
Yeah. And was that such a huge investment, especially on your end? You're giving up something that's, at the end of the day, I'm getting my paycheck. I have stability, I have a job, but now I've seen something new and I'd like to try it out. How huge was that risk for you?
It was huge. It was enormous. It really was enormous.
Yeah.
Just talking from the heart, I was, kind of two-hearted, like, should I be doing this? Is it a good step? Because it's really 5 years of study. And as you said, you are in a comfort zone, you're being paid well.
Yeah.
I was running the Nairobi Hospital Physiotherapy department when I left for chiropractic. So I really took a leap of faith to go into a different profession. But there's a time in life when you know that, it's time to move on, it's time to venture into something else. So it wasn't an easy step, but I forged on and I went in and studied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's talk about the solutions being offered, the services that you provide for people who come to see you.
Yeah. At the center, at Physiotherapy, we offer holistic care in chiropractic, physiotherapy, hydrotherapy, therapeutic massages, yoga, and exercises. Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
And when somebody comes to you, because different people have different things. They have, somebody has chronic pain, another person needs alignment. There's somebody who comes to you because they're pregnant and the difference in weight is just messing up with their whole body. So how do you tailor different remedies for different, patients?
Yeah, we make sure that we are patient-centered and patient-focused. And that's the other thing that I realize in both private and public sectors, people, the doctors, the clinicians were not really patient-focused. They were not really looking at you as tabby. They're looking at you like, okay, she's coming with a back pain, so this is back pain patient, not really this is tabby and what is she doing? How is she engaging in her everyday life? So at the center, we tend to understand the patients more. We tend to look at them as the individuals. So we're really tailor-making our treatments according to where they're coming from. It could be someone who sits for long hours in the office. It could be a cameraman who holds a lot of things and has pain in the shoulder. So you need to know that it's not just a normal pain. So if he goes back to his work, how is he going to adjust to that particular occupation that he has? So you need to be more centered, and that's where the disconnect was between the public, the private sector. They were not really analyzing the situation from a holistic perspective, like this is who you are, this is what the things that you engage in on a daily basis, and not going beyond just the treatment. You have to go a little bit more in detail to know what are the stresses that are impacting that particular person.
Yes, what is triggering your pain?
What's it triggering your pain?
Yeah. Awesome. And I really love that because I feel like it's usually a huge problem in the Kenyan health sector, where a doctor will just see you for the symptoms you've presented and not actually take time with you and find out exactly where is this coming from. I could be having back pain, but it's a manifestation of something else, and you're just treating this back pain. So yeah, I do see the need for that more personalized forms of treatment. So now let's talk about the challenges now. You've quit your job, you've gone to pursue more education.
Right.
Now you've come back to the country.
Yes.
How was that experience? Did you feel the need to get back into employment, or did you now say, I want to start my own thing?
That's a very interesting question, because really, when I came back, I decided to test the waters a bit. I went with my CV, with my certificate, with my certification to the Nairobi hospital, sat up with the CEO and asked them, okay, you're able to absorb me in this hospital now that I'm back and with all these qualifications? But really, I didn't find it easy. And there was always that blockage that, oh, we don't really know what this is all about.
Yes.
So it wasn't easy settling back to where you were. So I decided, no, let me just venture out and do what I can. What I tended to do was to observe with the chiropractor that I had done my sessions with. I went in and worked with her for a year while I'm just finding my own feet. So testing the waters, knowing what it's all about, and getting to feel. So yes, I did attempt to get back into the job sector on a different level with a different qualification. But I think at that particular time, people did not know what chiropractic is all about. And even now, there's still,
a
people who hesitant.
Okay.
We still need to do a lot of groundwork, and we had to talk to the policymakers and the Ministry of Health to educate them on what chiropractic is all about. When you talk about wellness, you talk about the body's ability to heal itself without too much intervention. You tend to tread on some toes, like the medical doctors who are used to giving prescriptions. They don't know that this pain can go away without really that prescription. So
Okay, and how was that? Because when you tell somebody the body has the ability to heal itself without all of this, and here is a doctor or a hospital that's really making profits off of prescribing medicine, of course they're going to discredit you and say this is fringe science.
Yes.
This sounds like witchcraft in English.
Right.
So how exactly was that for you? Because I'm thinking you're quite new to the industry at that time.
Right.
And when now did you now start Polycare?
Right. First of all, yeah, you just have to break some, what would I say, some beliefs or some traditions that, okay, this might not be streamlined medicine. So you need to do a lot of promotional work, a lot of talks, presentations, present your cases across to people and let them know that this can work. So I started out Polycare knowing exactly that my foundation was in physiotherapy as much as I was a chiropractor now. So the doctors and everybody else will embrace physiotherapy. But really, as much as we're talking, physiotherapy and chiropractic work very closely hand in hand. So it wasn't difficult for me to set out my own practice and to forge ahead with what I had to do. But
you did.
I did.
Awesome. So now, sometimes when you're working with a patient, and I'm thinking doing what you do, sometimes you need long-term treatment and long-term care, and it takes a lot of commitment from both you and the person who has come to see you. But sometimes, especially having been around someone who's guilty of this, when somebody comes to you and they say, I have this and this and it won't go away, and I've tried every avenue and it's just not working, and you're my last hope, and I believe in you and I trust in you, and you put in your work. But when it comes to them, here are some home exercises you should do, they don't follow up on their end of the deal. So now, on your end, is it frustrating working with patients who give you the burden of, I'm going to be well as long as I'm working with you, and they're not doing their end of the deal?
Yeah, you have to understand the culture of the patients that you have, because we as Africans are a little bit, we don't follow rules to the letter, and therefore you find that the treatments take longer for you to get better. We tend to follow up a lot on our patients, particularly knowing the type. There's some people who would give instructions and they'll say, okay, let me do this exercise. But you find that some patients, especially our culture, they'll do it just before they come in to see the doctor. So when you ask, have you been following up? They say, yes. But he just did it yesterday, you see. So it takes longer for them to recover rather than being very sensible. So we try to calculate that culture that you are held responsible for your own health. So we need to make sure that we are also owning the programs that are given and being held responsible. So follow-up is very crucial, and making sure that we are doing the right thing.
Okay. Accountability partners.
Accountability, yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Awesome. So what would you say is an experience that really confirmed to you that you were doing what you're supposed to do? What is that proof of concept, for lack of a better term, just something that really encouraged you and confirmed that I am walking in my purpose, this is what I'm supposed to be doing?
Good question, because my passion is really wellness. That's who I am. So wellness is really defined as an integrated approach, both mentally, physically, and emotionally and spiritually, so that we can be able to enhance the best way, the best out of you, so that you can maximize your potential at your place of work or at your place of play. So having to work in the passion of what I believe in really makes me feel that I'm in the right space.
Okay. And how do you put yourself out there? Because I realized with most conventional businesses, for example, hospitals, especially lawyers, engineers, they don't really get how to market themselves to the public. You just like, of course, if you're sick, you'll come see a doctor. But with other unconventional types of businesses, they really put themselves out there. They're huge on social media. They're just, you know, top of mind. You think about something and you think about them. But for you, when it comes to marketing and putting yourself out there and getting the word Polycare, you know, to the masses, how do you put yourself out there?
Yeah, we recently have actually embraced social media a lot in our practice because we have a very young staff load, personnel. I tend to employ people who have just been graduated and they haven't worked for long because I like the freshness. And of course, the people who are coming in are young people. And then we have been also engaging with influencers. So they've really been able to push us out there, which is different from what I used to do before. I used to do golf tournaments. I'd go, you know, put myself out, promotional things, and talk to organizations and really sell myself out. But remember, you're really blocking time from the clinic. You're going out to talk to people, and they may not come to you. So you're doing a lot of time out of your space of work, and by the time you come back, you're exhausted. But still, that was a way of marketing ourselves out there. But now with the social media platforms, we are really good. So we are working with some influencers who are really pushing us. How has that
experience been? Because
it's been interesting. Very interesting, because I get very young people coming into the for chiropractic, for checkups, and this is what exactly I wanted. I wanted people to come in before the problem starts. You know, let's just get myself checked. Let me see. Let me prevent this. So a lot of young people are doing a lot of preventive care now, unlike the old school, you know, let me get pain before I go in and see the doctor. So they're really more health conscious. Kenyans, I'm proud of you. You're doing well. And young Kenyans, they're really more conscious about their health and their wellness right now.
And speaking of people being health conscious in the younger generation, how does your personal life influence your business part of life, your day-to-day activities? How do they play into, this is who I am when I'm at work and this is who I am when I'm at home?
Are
they different people?
No, not at all. It's the same person. I'm very compassionate. I'm very empathetic. So even I project that at my place of work. And then, of course, I practice yogi, so I'm a yogi. And yogi really, the major principle of yogi is they respect the person in you. So you don't do any judgment. You take you as you are. And that has flowed through my place of work. To at home, to everywhere that I socialize in. So it's been a good journey. At the beginning, you had mentioned that your business takes a holistic approach when you're, you know, dealing with a patient or a client who comes to see you. But what exactly do you mean when you say a holistic approach? Yeah, we're looking at the mental well-being of that patient. We're looking at their emotional state. We're looking at their physical state and their spiritual state as well, knowing, understanding them for who they are, and then making sure that we also advise accordingly. So it's really a holistic approach.
And given the current climate, we have to ask this question. We have seen doctors protesting because they are underpaid and overworked, or they feel underpaid and overworked. What personally are the challenges that you have experienced working in the medical industry, more specifically in Kenya?
Good question. I think in Kenya, we need to appreciate health for what it is. We don't, as we said, we don't do preventive care. We normally go in for curative care. When something is happening, that's when I go in to see the doctor. But it's a high time that doctors were protesting because they've been taken for a ride all these years, and I'm thinking that now it's time people had to pay attention to that particular person, because doctors are very important in our everyday life, and not being able to appreciate them and you know, meet their needs as much as they've sworn to prevent or to actually swear to, what do you say?
Protect life.
To protect life,
Yeah.
yeah. You swear to protect life, but still, we need to make sure that also these doctors have they have families to take care of. There are other things that they need to look after.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's high time that this was happening.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing to say that, because there's a lot of people suffering because there are no doctors to attend to them.
True.
But it's high time that people should pay attention. That the powers that be must pay attention to this kind of thing.
And what challenges have you experienced as a chiropractor?
The first one is the people embracing chiropractic, and especially in our medical field, like mainstream doctors don't embrace chiropractic as much. Because there's a conflict of interest, if I may say that. I'll just say that they normally like to prescribe painkillers. Well, we say do not give painkillers. Let the body try to heal with this. Let's see what has caused this pain and how can we prevent it from not getting any further. Let's give appropriate exercises. Let's strengthen a place. Let's make sure we adjust a certain way and then let the body recover. So there's been a little bit of conflict of interest in the fact that the doctors are not embrace it as much as they are. They do not prescribe it. They'll come in for a chiropractic adjustment themselves, but they will not send their patients to see you. Yeah. So like, okay, let me go see the chiropractor, but let me not send my patient to see you. You see, so there's a little bit of two-faced about that. Yeah, that's the biggest challenge that we've had as chiropractors. People trying to, and then of course we are few in number, so we don't have a big voice out there. We're only 15 in the country.
Only 15?
Only 15, yes, in Kenya. So it's a small fraternity. Yeah. And getting to be heard is difficult.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need more.
We need more. We need more. We need more.
Okay.
We need more.
And would you say that a deterring factor for most people is usually the fact that physical therapy and chiropractors are associated with a certain amount of money, as in it's viewed as I would need more money, significantly more money for me to come see you, as opposed to, well, the doctor said painkillers. Do you feel like your rates could be a deterring factor to people coming to see you?
It's true. Economically, it's much more expensive to go see a chiropractor, but you need to look at the long end benefit, because you could just go see a chiropractor for 2 sessions while you're going to a doctor every so often, because you haven't really gotten to the root of the problem. So you might finish your meds and then go back again and go back again. So in the long run, it's really not cost effective.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So you heard it. Stop saying that money is the problem. But as we come to an end, do you have a success story that you'd be comfortable sharing? Throughout your career, is there a success story that sticks out for you?
Thank you for asking that, because there was a lady. She was a university student. I think she was about 24 years old. And during COVID 2020, she just woke up one day and she could not move. She could not move her legs. She was completely paralyzed. So the mother took her to the neurologist. They took her for tests. They couldn't find anything. Remember, this is COVID 2020, where everybody's masking and no one wants to go outside. But this girl could not. And she was a swimmer. She was swimming for the Olympic team. So there was no reason for her to kind of just wake up in the morning and be completely paralyzed. Yeah. In fact, people were thinking that it's hysteria or something. So this girl went through quite a lot, and the mother approached us. I can tell you, she called me up personally. We were kind of doing a one-to-one basis of things, like, okay, the clinic is not open, but you can call us and somebody will come in to see you. So I came in and saw her. We went through hydrotherapy. Hydrotherapy is exercises in the water. The girl was sliding into the pool because she couldn't walk. She'd come from her wheelchair, lift herself up and slide herself into the pool. Hold on, both legs were paralyzed, and we'll go through the exercises. Do you imagine, by 3 months, that girl was walking. Wow. She was completely walking. Even the neurologist was very, very surprised at what happened.
And
how
did you
come
ever
you
find
recovered?
out the cause?
I think for one reason, there could have been a viral infection somewhere. That's what I'm thinking, that was the cause, onto the brain tissue, where, you know, the nervous flow has been interfered with. So you kind of become like paraplegic or polio. You know what polio is, right? So that could have been it. But the fact that she was very consistent coming in for the exercises, and we followed through with her in hydrotherapy, day to day.
Yeah.
I was wearing a mask. We were wearing a mask in the pool, but we were doing our exercises. And she regained strength, and she regained strength. And now she's back to her swimming.
She's now swimming again.
She's now swimming again. Yeah.
That is wonderful.
Oh, that was good.
You must
really
feel very
liked it.
fulfilled when such things happen.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That was beautiful,
awesome.
Especially the fact that she was very young that particular time. And then, of course, everybody was locked down. So
yes, it was double scary.
It was double
especially
scary
for an athlete.
Yeah, especially for an athlete as well. It was double scary.
Wow. Okay, so please tell us where we can find you, physical locations, and also social media.
Oh, our social media is Polycare Wellness Center, one word. That's our Instagram handle.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you can visit us on www.pcc.co.ke. We also have a Facebook page, Polycare.
Okay, and your physical location?
Lavington Green Shopping Mall. We have two practices, one in Lavington Green Shopping Mall, the other one in Nyari, Bishopsgate.
Awesome.
Right.
Thank you so much for enlightening us and just being this bright light that demystified something that a lot of people will not venture into because they don't really know what's going on.
Thank you.
And as we come to a close, do you have one last sentiment you'd like to share with us?
Yes, please. I'd like the ladies to be very focused when it comes to setting out in business. Make sure that you set your eyes on the goal and just be determined, because the hurdles are there.
Yes.
But so long as you're focused, you'll be able to make it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Margaret.
Thank you.
As always, I will see you next week. My name is Strife.